Okay, folks, got a lot of questions on the modifications I did in restoring my 1989 Bass Tracker Tournament 17 TX17. I just picked this thing up this past winter. I got a pretty good deal on it, and while I was waiting for summertime, warmer weather, to go fishing, I figured I'd do a few upgrades to it and fix a few things. 30-year-old boat, so things go bad and rot and whatever. So hope you liked the video. If you got any questions, leave it in the comments section. If there's something I left out that you want to know about, maybe I left it completely out or didn't cover that topic as well as you would have liked, leave it in the comments section. I'll answer your questions best I can. So try not to make this thing too long. But basically I bought a 1989 Bass Tracker TX17, as you can see. And sorry for the bad camera work. Anyways, had a lot of things going on with it. So I'll just start from basically tell you a little bit about what I did, start from the beginning. So first thing I did was the top deck here, as you can see. Now it was all rotted out, so I had to replace all the wood. And one of the biggest problems I ran into was finding good information on what type of wood to use. Now a lot of people were saying that can't use pressure treated wood because it's got chemicals in it, copper and stuff that react with the aluminum and I guess will corrode the aluminum. And after doing a lot of digging around for local marine plywood or wood that was suitable for it, what I discovered was our local department store, big box store, Lowe's, sold this 3/4 treated plywood from a company called Eco-Life, or it's treated with a chemical process called Eco-Life that doesn't use the old harsh chemicals like the old marine grade plywood or the old pressure treated plywood that was pretty common back a few years ago. So it's supposed to be supposed to not corrode aluminum. I did some digging on it. We'll find out. So anyway, I replaced the whole top deck, and while I had the deck off, of course I had the old foam in there, and it was 30 years old, so most of it was waterlogged, extremely nasty. Geez, what a job. You guys that have done that, digging out the old foam and replacing it, I feel your pain, because it sucks. But anyway, got it all dug out, replaced it with new foam board from Lowe's, also the 2-inch insulation, stacked it in there best I could, and turned out pretty good. Replaced, like I said, replaced the top deck, and you can see here, now this deck used to come out to about right here, so I left off that last 6 or 8 inches. It gave me a little more room for standing around. Sometimes we take the kids out, grandbabies, and we need as much room as we can so they can kind of maneuver a little bit. So let's go right to it. I'll show you the back deck. The back deck, as most of you Bass Tracker owners know, was aluminum. So there was no wood back here, but so I cleaned it up, cut out some sections and got out the old foam again, replaced it with new foam, and put down this little mat. As you can see, it's a cheap vinyl mat. I didn't pay much for it at all. Gives you a little traction, breaks things up a little bit, I guess. And while we're on that topic, let's go back to the front deck real quick. The front deck and the back deck, you can see it's real rough surface. Those of you that recognize that will know that's bed liner. So I had some bed liner left over from doing one of my pickups. And you know, I already had it, and I don't like carpet. Carpet holds in moisture, and you got to replace it ever so often, and I just ain't into doing that at all. So I thought, well, we'll just try the bed liner. So put the bed liner down. It's a pretty rough surface. Then I painted it with real good paint from Lowe's. I can't think of the name of it. I'll look it up and leave it in the description. But it's like a super heavy-duty outdoor porch deck type paint. It's supposed to be some of the best stuff they had. So anyway, that's what I put on it. Time will tell. This is not a show boat. If you want, this boat's not going to compare to a brand new boat. This boat was done on a budget. Meant to do on a budget, was done on a budget. So getting back to the wood, pulled out all the insulation out of the sides, bottom, replaced it, put the vinyl floor matting down. These seats is kind of interesting. These are 30-year-old seats. They were like a brown and gray, and I cleaned them up, took some sandpaper to them, and bought some of that vinyl spray paint upholstery stuff from Amazon, and I'll leave a picture of those in there, the before and after. But turned out pretty dang good. Not bad for old seats, and we've taken it out fishing quite a bit. Hasn't shown any signs of wear yet, so I don't expect it to last like a new seat. But if I can get a few years out of that final covering that I sprayed on there, then I'll be tickled to death. I can save up some money for some new seats maybe. As you can see here, put a canopy top on it. Hope you can see that good. My old bald head can't take the heat anymore, can't take the sun, so $100. I think it might maybe 110. Amazon, good deal. Took like 30 minutes to put it on. Drill a few holes in the top and get it where you want it, and worked out pretty good. So I was real happy with that. Real quick, let me mention this. This is your intake vent for your gas storage area. And as you can see over there, that's the exhaust vent. So the theory is the air moves in as you're moving. Fresh air goes in through here through a piece of 3-inch duct, enters the fuel compartment, and exits the exhaust compartment. So and the reason I said all that was to say this: when I tore into the insulation, the original duct was like a white plastic dryer vent type stuff. It was shredded. I mean, it was tore all to pieces. So that didn't work out too good. I just replaced it with aluminum vent and riveted in there and zip ties. So it worked out pretty good. Real quick, while we're back here, as you can see, got my trolling motor battery right here. Got my starting battery over there. About these little